Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emily Hessler. Today I'm gonna create two cards and I'm going to do that by using the same stencil. This one is from Tim Holtz and it's called Lace. I am also going to be using a watercolor paper to create this. So now I'm just taking some distressed inks. This is Mustard Sea, Warm Lipstick and Picked Raspberry. I have no craft sheet, so I'm just using some baking paper, I think you can call it that. If you have a craft sheet, use that, because this worked out okay, but I think a craft sheet had been better. So that's something I could invest in too. So now I'm gonna tape this. Actually, I'm starting off by blending some of my texture paste. This is a matte one. With that Mustard Sea, you can see it up in the right corner. Then I'm gonna adhere that watercolor piece down onto my work surface, and then I'm gonna layer that stencil on top of it, and then I'm gonna start working on this piece. This is gonna create the background of this. I think this was so much fun and it was really easy to do. I have never done this exactly this one with this stencil and so on, but I think this was so much fun. And as you can see, I'm just taking that texture paste and running that along the upper right corner of the stencil, and you can see it is really easy. It goes on very smooth. And now I'm taking that second color, that Warm Lipstick, and just doing the same thing. And when I have done that, I am going to slightly overlap that first part that we did, and that is going to create a smooth, what it's called, a smooth overlapping or something. I think you can see what I'm doing anyway. So that excess texture paste I'm just tapping off to the side, and now working on the last color, that Picked Raspberry, and that is one of my favorite colors. You know, I like my pinks or bright colors in general, but this pink is so beautiful. So now I'm just taking that and running that along that last part of this cardstock, and I also am going to take it up to that left corner a little bit. Now I'm just running that along to making sure that it's flat and that it looks okay and that every part of this is covered. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna lift my stencil, because you always have to work a little bit faster when you're working with texture paste, because you don't want this to dry on your stencil. So I'm just taking a bucket of warm water and just laying that inside of that until I'm ready to clean it off. When I clean it off, I'm starting off with my other project for this for today. Now I'm just taking that white texture paste again over this stencil. I'm doing this not that carefully this time. I want this to be a little bit distressed, and I want rough edges, and I don't want this to go all the way out to the edges. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna lift this stencil again and put it down into the water. Now I'm gonna let this dry. But before I'm doing that, I'm taking some holographic embossing powder from Ranger and just tapping that along some of the parts of this, and when this have dried completely, I am going to heat set this, and this will give this card a really nice shine. Now I'm working with the sentiment for the first card that we started to create, and this is a die from Simon Says Stamp, and it's very delicate, so I'm carefully placing all those. I actually die cutted this 3 times out of some black scrap paper, so I'm just carefully running some adhesive along it, and then wiggling it around so it creates this very nice scripted word. Now I've been taking some craft paper and created a top folded note card, and now I'm just cutting down that first piece that we created, and I'm doing that to all the sides. To one of the sides I'm gonna take, I don't know, this is the thing you use on your nails. It's called a fil on svenska, but I don't know what it's called on English. So please leave a comment down below so you can help me with my English. It has to be better. So now I'm just going to adhere this flat down to this card base, And when I've done that, I am also gonna take, you saw me take those small strips of gold paper and run them along both the sides. This actually has some adhesive to the back side of it, but to making sure this adhere well, I'm going to secure it with some more liquid glue. And I'm doing that to both the sides of this card. I love that shimmer and sparkle. Since this card is having a matte finish, I think it needs some sparkle to it. When I'm done that, I am going to take a scissor and just cut off the excess of these ones. Now I'm going to adhere that sentiment that we created. I'm taking the same glue and just making small dots on the back side, and then I'm gonna press it down at an angle on top of our very nice background. I think this was so much fun, and I'm sure gonna do this again, and it creates a really awesome dimension. And it isn't that hard as I thought it was going to be. It's very flexible actually, and I like that. That little dot underneath that word, I am just dabbing a little glue dot and then I'm pressing it down. I'm using my tweezers just to making sure I'm placing it down right. To embellishing this card, I'm taking some Pretty Pink Pars sparkling sequin mix and just placing them randomly down on top of our card. So here it is, the first card is finished. Now I'm gonna keep working on that second card. I die cutted this with my new favorite die from W+9. This is the part of that sunshine layering die set that I bought a couple of in May. It's a month ago. Now I'm taking some adhesive to the back side of this panel and just pressing that down on top of a similar cardstock top folded note card that I created. I also die cutted this word out of some silver paper. This is also from Simon Says Stamp, and it says sending. Now I'm gonna finish this off the same way as I finished off that other card with some Pretty Pink Pars sequins, and I'm just randomly putting them down. I think this card is very elegant. So here we have them side by side, using the same technique and nearly the same products, but two different ways to finishing this off. I hope you like these cards. If you want to see more of my work, you can always subscribe to my channel here at YouTube or visit me at Instagram. My name is scrapbooking_Svea. And if you like this one, please give this a thumb up so I know you like this and I can create more videos. Thanks, see you soon, bye!